Orocobre is an ASX and TSX listed company. We've just entered the ASX 200 index, which is a very proud moment for us. Since we floated in December 2007, we've been absolutely focused on exploring and developing the Olaroz Lithium project in northern Argentina. We started production early last year, and now we're coming to the end of our ramp-up process. The highlights is that we achieved profitability. So now we've established ourselves as a producer. The EBITDAX for the Olaroz project was $7.8 million in the last 2 months of the year. Those 2 months since we established commercial production. We did 6,900 tonnes of production, and our ramp-up continues, and we're in a good position to start FY17. The company is very proud of achieving a number of things. We've taken this project from exploration through development and into production and into profitability now. That's taken a lot of effort, a big team approach. Financing, a challenge. Working in Argentina, a challenge. 4,000 metres, a challenge. Now we're established as a profitable, low-cost producer, and that's a great opportunity for the future. The Stage 2 expansion is under scoping study process at the moment. It would be very simple just to look at doubling capacity, going from 17,500 tonne design capacity to 35,000 tonnes, but there's the opportunity there to do things a little bit different. The lithium hydroxide market is a market that's growing strongly, so as part of the scoping studies we're contemplating whether we should be including that in our product mix or whether we should be just sticking with lithium carbonate. The end result of that study, or the end of that process, is the end of September. And then we can make a decision how we should advance into the feasibility studies. And all being well, we could be looking at commissioning an expanded project at the back end of 2018 with meaningful production in 2019. The priority from an operational point of view is to optimise our production processes. So we have now a plant that we can operate and produce at a low cost. So it's all about developing optimum operating practices. Improved recovery, reduced operating costs, and achieving design throughput. There is a project that we have to achieve to get the design throughput in the purification circuit. That's adding a cyclone bank. That should be done in November, and that allows us full capacity through the thickener. But that's the only mechanical thing that needs to be done. Otherwise, it's all about developing world best practice at operating levels. We've had a strong lithium price over the last year and a half. It's grown from around long-term average of about $5,000, $5,500 a tonne, currently more than double that. And we've seen peak pricing in China on the so-called spot market of closer to $20,000 a tonne back in the first half of this year. That strong price is driven by strong demand. And if we look back over recent years, we've seen strong demand for batteries and consumer electronics, computers, mobile phones, iPads, and then into portable power tools and the like. More recently, we're seeing strong demand through the EV sector, and that's going to drive demand going forward, as well as the use of batteries in renewables and grid storage. Now that's one side of the equation. The second side of the equation is the supply side, and the supply side has been muted. So in the past people were expecting SQM and Rockwood, now Albemarle, to provide the lithium for the future. Their supply response has been muted. It's created a squeeze in supply, and hence we've seen high prices. But we see that supply squeeze continuing. The ramp up from other projects, the project pipeline, it always takes longer. So we see a undersupply situation in coming years and firm pricing in years to come. In a year's time, I expect Orocobre to be in a very strong position. We have a low-cost business, we're producing increasing amounts of product, and we'll have strong cash flows through this year. So our balance sheet will improve. There's about $100 million worth of shareholders' funds that have been put in terms of short-term funding to the subsidiary company. That money will all flow back to Orocobre in the next 2 years. And at the back end of next year, we should be in a position whereby we'll be building our expanded project with the aim of having production kicking off at the back end of 2018 and ramping up into 2019. So in the past years, we've had trials and tribulations. We're in a strong position now and we'll have a good year, I'm sure.